With Jaden Hardy, early on, how did he help you guys, get off to a pretty good start tonight?
Yeah, he got us off to a great start. Being able to shoot the three and then giving us scoring, I thought he was really good at the start of the game, got us going. And then from that point, I thought everybody else chipped in. Klay was great tonight. Reaching 2,800 is pretty cool. I think fifth all time is big time. So for Klay to do that, he's going to continue to keep climbing the charts there. But I thought he was great for us offensively. We stretched his minutes tonight. But I thought the way the group, played to start the game set the tone for us.
It seemed like Coop got double-teamed a bunch. How do you think he handled the doubles when they came, and what did you think of his game overall?
Yeah, he was great. The double teams, I thought he made all the right decisions, the reads. He didn't force anything. He trusted his teammates to make the plays. We got great looks there in the third quarter. Some of them just didn't go down. But the trust was at a high level tonight, especially for him to trust to get double-teamed there a lot and trust that his teammates were going to make the right plays.
Flagg has now made multiple three-pointers in 3 of the last 4 games. What have you thought of his recent growth in that area and that he's not afraid, he's still letting them fly?
Yeah, he's never going to be afraid. He's built differently. But he's taking what the defense is giving him. And so I thought for a young man that, I think twist his ankle and come back and play at that level that he did just shows his toughness. But he's shooting the ball well. He's playing the game. I love the response because his last game wasn't up to his standards. So the bounce back game for him just shows how he can correct things quickly. So being able to have the ball and make the decisions and be double teamed, I thought his patience was great.
He's leading you guys in points, rebounds, assists, steals. I know with Luka, you always used to say, don't take him for granted. I'm not making that comparison at all, but he's leading again tonight, 19 years old, doing this all. I mean, what do you take away from the game that he's playing with night in and night out?
Yeah, well, we all know he's special, so just understanding we will never take anybody for granted. But his skill set, his maturity at the age of 19, he's leading this team. He is one of our leaders on the floor and off the floor, and so we have to lean into that. We have guys out. Hopefully we get guys back soon so that they can help him.
I know with his two-way, he wasn't really, he was more on defense in his scouting report early, but then his offense has maybe even been better than he's expected in the league. What's been your thoughts with him on the two-way? There was tonight.
Who's that?
Cooper.
Oh, Coop. Coop is a two-way defender. He plays both sides, not just offense. He competes on the defensive end. We're asking him to get a couple more rebounds. That's one area that we believe that he can get better at, but as time, he'll figure that out. But everything else he's doing at a high level. He's scoring. He's making the right plays. He's accepting the double team. As we talked about time and strength, as he gets stronger and as he understands what he can do, he'll be able to rest on the double team, and he won't have to work as hard, accept the double team, and let your teammates play that night. And he did that, tonight for us.
Najee, the floater's always there, but his night passing the basketball.
I thought Najee was big for us. He on the defensive end. Again, he won't be recognized or asked about, but I thought Christie did a really good job on Porter. He made it tough on him tonight. And so just understanding what he did for us. But I thought Najee being aggressive, the floater is his go-to, and he tends not to miss those. He was great tonight with that. And then also the defensive end, he helped us too on the defensive end. DP was huge for us to start and to play to fatigue. He gave us a spark. And so, again, he was good. And then Musa came in as a backup and gave us the same energy.
You touched a little bit on Flagg being a leader on and off the court. I'd like to ask you what, of course, he leads by his play on the court, but how would you describe his leadership style being a teenage rookie?
When you ask anyone on the team or anyone that's on that plane, he always talks to everybody, gives a handshake, looks at you in the eye to see how you're doing, and that's what leaders do. No matter how good or how bad things might seem record-wise, he comes with a positive attitude, and that's what we need. And for a 19-year-old to understand that is special.
How'd you see things kind of change for Ryan tonight?
I thought he had some good looks there in the first half, and I thought he made some of those shots a little bit tougher than he had. But I love Ryan's composure. He's all about the competition, always helping the team in any way. And I thought, again, being able to settle the group down and get us organized was really good.
How important is the floor spacing? You talk a lot about like shot quality and spacing the floor for all the players.
Yeah, when we can have two guys out there, when you talk about having Thompson and Christie out there, also Christie Hardy, and then to be able to add Kelly to the mix, another shooter for us. I thought he was good for us tonight too. I thought his energy, those two-way guys are playing hard, and they're coming with some positive energy. But to be able to have multiple shooters out there has helped with Cooper and the spacing, and then the others being able to get wide open shots. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, I looked up the guy from shoot-around.
Oh, yeah, legend. Who was that?
A third-round pick, like a long time ago.
Wish they still had that many rounds, huh?
All right, go ahead with questions for Klay, guys.
Assuming that's the ball.
That's a game ball.
Did you know that this milestone was kind of approaching in this game?
No, not really. But I knew I was close to.
We were 4 away from passing the next.
That's cool, and that's something I don't take for granted. And pretty sweet, honestly, position to be in. And definitely gonna be excited when I do accomplish that feat. That's pretty sweet.
Klay, what's it been like for you just having to going through all the uncertainty with the lineup changes and you kind of being that constant presence tonight, coming off the bench, having 6 threes, played a big part in the win?
It's been great, honestly. I mean, you're 15, playing great minutes in the NBA in a great city, and I've been enjoying every second. I love the game, and I love being healthy enough to be out there so much. It's a true blessing, and I'll never take for granted what those years I missed, because it's given me great perspective in being just the ability to be available, and it's a true blessing.
And when you and Max and Jaden Hardy and all other players are not making a lot of threes, clearly like the offense has been improving. When you kind of see in a game like this when you all hit more than 10 threes?
I think we shared the ball very well tonight, and great assist to turnover ratio, nearly 30 assists. When we hit that 30 assist mark and we're spraying the ball out to shooters, it's a fun style of play to be a part of. And I was very proud of Jaden, who hasn't gotten the most consistent minutes recently, but he stayed ready, and he was huge for us to start the game. And he kind of gave us a spark that we needed, and he's such a great scorer.
I think a lot of your teammates probably observe you, even when maybe you're not watching. They want to see your mechanics. They want to see your feet set up. I mean, you're one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time, and they're excited to be around you and be in your presence. So, for you to love the game so much and to kind of love the next generation as well, how special does it feel that, these young guys are kind of in awe of you, just you doing your day-to-day, get ready for practice and games?
It's surreal, and it makes me realize how fast time has gone and how fast it does go by when you're having fun and doing what you love. And a lot even with Cooper, he told me he was like 9 years old when he watched me in the 2015 finals, and that puts so much in perspective. And I just feel honored to be still out here playing at a high level. And my next goal is to make it to 1,000 regular season games. So for me, I'm just enjoying every day, being able to put these sneakers on and run up and down the court and be a great teammate. Pro sports are hard. It's hard to have longevity, especially with the style of play these days. It's so much pace, it's space, and it just takes great commitment to get to this point. And I'm excited to be the veteran on the team. It's a true honor.
How much mentoring do you see yourself doing or catch yourself doing, maybe not even knowing you're doing it with your actions or your shooting or whatever?
I say little things, and I try to tell them what it felt like when I was a rookie or what I would have done differently. And I try to tell our rooks just to have no expectation your first season because there's so much ahead of you, especially in your pro basketball career. You just want to soak it all in. And I wish I did that more in my rookie year. I wish I thought I did a good job of that, but I just wish I was more attentive to the little things.
You just talked about Cooper. How do you see him approach game to game? Jason Kidd talked about that probably wasn't the game he wanted to have in Chicago, and then he comes out and has a night like he did tonight. How have you seen him approach game to games?
Well, just his willingness, him being willing to be out there every night and go through whatever. Like, that's going to pay off huge dividends when the future comes because when, you've seen it with each passing week, how comfortable he is with the ball in his hands, especially at the end of the game. Like tonight, I shot at the top of the key. That takes great confidence, and that's only become more normal as time goes on. So it's Mavs fans are very lucky to, watch him nightly and will be for such a long time. And, just getting better each week. I mean, you don't win Rookies of the Month consecutive months without doing something right.
Klay, one.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So, Coop, you told Klay you were 9. You watched him in the 2050 finals. Do you actually remember watching the game?
I do. I don't remember if I said I was 9, but it might have been how old I was. However old I was, a lot of years in a row, watching them play. So, I have a lot of memories, just being a fan of basketball in general. As a younger kid, I was a fan of the Warriors, so I feel like you kind of picked a side, with those matchups. And I was a Warriors fan. Watching him growing up, it was crazy. So it's been amazing just to be alongside Klay, Cat this year. See his leadership, just to for him to just be out there every night, playing and just being amazing for us. Obviously. He's been shooting the lights out, lately, and he's been really hot. So just gonna keep it going, and it's been such a pleasure to play alongside him.
What about those Warriors teams that you liked?
I mean, it was just entertaining basketball. Obviously, the one team is probably one of the greatest teams of all time, if not the greatest. So just really entertaining basketball. Modernizing the game, just shooting the ball at such a high level, and those two guys, Steph and Klay. It's entertaining.
You briefly touched on it, but you brought up Klay Thompson's leadership. Just overall, what does Klay Thompson as a leader look like, and what has it been like you being his teammate and you being one of his rooks here?
Yeah, I mean, he just leads with example. Just showing up, putting his work in. Just giving us advice. I think that's been a big thing. From the start, it's him just giving me a lot of advice and making sure that I'm not putting too much pressure on myself or whatever it is, and just helping taking some of that load off. So he's been a good leader, a great vet. And it's been a great year. Getting to know him and being to play alongside him.
And off of that, Coach Kidd brought up, he was talking about you, and he said that you were one of the leaders of the team on and off the court, and that y'all need to lean into that. I'd like to ask you, is being a leader, is that something that you kind of expected yourself to do as a teenage rookie, and what has it been like being a leader as a rookie?
Yeah, I mean, leader or not, I just try to stay true to myself. I stick to my values and my principles, and if that can help the team and that's what guys can look at, then great. But yeah, for me, it's about just being myself. Being vocal and letting that side of me come out. And we have a great group of guys. A lot of great personalities. So that's made it easy just for me to come out of my shell and be myself. Really just getting to know these guys. So it's been great. Just allowing me to be myself.
You're leading the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals, but every night you're kind of stuffing the box. How much pride do you take in the two-way play that you kind of bring? Yeah,
just I think something I said from the very start, my first press conference, just being an impact player, impacting the game in a lot of different ways. I don't think I've been rebounding it well enough lately or stuff like that, but, it's just whatever it is, just impacting the game in a lot of different ways. There's always room to improve.
And then the double team, obviously, that's going to be different at this level than college. How do you think you've been growing and handling that? Jason Kidd said tonight that you've just accepted it well and then leaned into trusting your teammates to kind of make more of those plays. What's that growth been like for you?
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, it's a little different, and I thought tonight they did it a little differently. So, I thought it was better from a team perspective of us just, being in our spots better and, just made it so much easier for me to just, get off it and give our guys advantages to go play 4-on-3. So, if they're going to send a double, it's all we have to do, just hit the open man and play advantage basketball. So, I'm very happy to just, throw one more and let them go play with an advantage.
This was another night where jumper was working for you. Have you made any mechanical changes as the season has gone along? And mechanically, is it anything different for you?
No, just trusting the work. Trusting the process, knowing that, I'm very confident in myself and the way I can shoot the ball. And, I got away from that, to start the year. But got to just stick with it, get the extra reps, be confident, stay in the gym, and, just not worry about anything else.
Coach Kidd briefly touched on it in here, and then you brought it up as well when it comes to rebounding. What do you think you need to do in that area to improve as a rebounder?
Just gotta keep pursuing them. Sometimes it's, luck of the draw or whatever, balls don't bounce your way, but, you got to be able to hit guys and keep guys off the glass too. It's been a couple of times of just, not boxing out and letting my man get some of the rebounds. So it's just, that's definitely part of it.
Has that been an emphasis from the coaching staff to you, that they want you to improve as a rebounder and emphasize and crashing the glass?
I wouldn't say like an emphasis from the whole coaching staff, but I mean, they've touched on it. I think that's a big thing for any team is you want to be dominant on the glass. So, team-wide for us, that's been a huge part of, trying to be successful is just trying to dominate the glass each night.
How were you able to come back after rolling your ankle and then come back having a big dunk and then the three-pointer at the top of the key?
Yeah, just tied it up tighter, retaped it, and got back out there. So, just rolling an ankle like that, you just got to kind of tighten it up and, play through it. So.
And you talked about just like the Warriors being one of the greatest teams of all time. I've also heard you talk about the Celtics and 96 Bulls. Which one of those teams do you think actually is the best team of all time?
I'm not sure. I don't really have an opinion. There's a lot of really great teams. Obviously, I grew up watching film on the 85, 86 Celtics, and that's probably, one of my favorite teams of all time. But, as a kid, watching, the run the Warriors had and the stuff they were able to do, that was pretty incredible as well. So, there's obviously, a ton of great teams.
You're leading the Mavs in points, and then Najee's next, and Max. What do they offer when you're out on the floor and just their contributions?
Yeah, Najee and Max are both just super consistent, tough as well. I would say those two guys are, probably our two toughest guys of just being very consistent and showing up every single night and, being true professionals. So I think Najee's ability just to get in the paint, create, and then, get to his spots as well has been huge. And obviously Max has, been one of the leading, three-point shooters in the league this year. So just being really, really consistent for us and, what they do for us has been priceless on both sides of the ball. Those are probably, I would say, our two of our top defenders up there, with PJ as well, when they're all healthy. So, they play at such a high level on both sides of the ball.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shane.